Now let's get our web of this small beam in the top view. And according to these size tables, that web is 0.415 thick. So that means half the thickness is 0.2075. So I'm going to, let me zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to come up here and offset off my center line. What did we say? 0.2075. And I'll offset that to the top and that to the bottom. All right. And now, see, we're starting to get lines piling up here, so I would like to trim these web lines. I will do TR for trim, or we could use the scissors icon here. And instead of hitting enter, I'm going to select this line I want to use for my cutter, because that's going to be easier. All right, I selected that, enter, and I'll click that line and that line. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That line. Okay, so now I've got my webs all fixed up there. Now what? All right, well, let's move on to the framing angles. These are pieces of angle iron. And in the top view, so what this says is it's a 4x3 by quarter. The outstanding leg is 3 inches, that leg that sticks out towards you. And the side-to-side leg is 4 inches. Okay. Now, you know what I think I will do is I think I will just do this off in space and not get all goobered up here in the middle of my drawing. So I'm just going to draw 3 inches down, 4 inches over. So here's a line, some line or other. Okay, offset 3 down, offset 4. Now I'm going to offset 4 over. Okay. Now I want to make my 1/4 inch thickness. So now I will offset 1/4 from the top, from the top down, and from the heel over. And now I will trim. This might be a multi-step deal. If I hit enter, it will be a multi-step deal, but oh well. Okay, I'll erase that. And now I will put a radius in here. I'll put a radius of 1/4 inch in the inside. So notice what I did. Sorry, let me try that again. Radius. It doesn't know what the radius is, so I typed R for radius so that I can put in 1/4. Oh, it remembered the 1/4 inch radius when we drew our wide flange beam. Good. Enter. And I will just click those 2 lines. Now I will put a fillet on the nose, and 1/4 inch might be too big for the nose. Oops. Let's see if it is. I'll bet it is. We'll leave our 1/4 inch radius in there. And oh no, it's going to let us do that. Looks kind of stupid though. I think I'll back up and I will make fillet, R for radius. I will go 3/16 to make a little bit smaller radius. That looks a little better. Okay, so there's one, hello, there's one angle iron. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cool. I'm going to just make copies of this thing. Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm going to move this guy. You know what? I think it will be easier. It looks kind of maybe an extra step, but I don't like to get confused. So I'm going to make some mirror lines so that I can mirror this thing while I'm out here in space. And then I'm going to move the mirrored copies up here. I know that's probably seems excessive, but I get insecure. So I'm going to mirror, where the heck is mirror? Mirror, right there. Mirror, or MI for mirror. Select objects. Click points on mirror line. Okay, 1 point, 2 points. Do I want to erase source objects? No. Okay. Now I will mirror again. I hit enter to bring the command up again. I'll select those two objects and I'll mirror them both at once. Select first point of mirror line, select second point of mirror line. Erase source objects? No. Okay, now I've got 4 angles that are in the right orientation. I can erase my temporary mirror lines. Now I just have to move them into place. Oh boy. So I will grab this one and move. I'll grab it by its heel and put it up here in this. See the intersection O snap? I'll snap it to that intersection. Now I'll move this one. I'll grab it by the heel and move it to that, oh, not midpoint. Endpoint. Will endpoint be okay? I don't think so. Kind of hard to see. We'd better move in a little bit closer because it's hard to see what's happening. Move this one from the heel up to that endpoint, okay. And move this one up here. Bad. Undo. Try again. I didn't get it at the right point. Grab it by the heel and move it right to that endpoint at the end of the web, or an intersection if you have one. Okay, now I've got my top view of my angles. Notice that I've left my center line in here. Do I need my center line for any reason? I don't think I do. I think I could erase this center line and make it a little bit more clear up there. Okay. Now, how about this? How about I run some construction lines from my top view down into my front view. I want to make sure I get the right the 4-inch thing. This is hard to do. All right, just zoom in here. I'm going to make a temporary construction line from that toe. Did I get the toe down? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to go down to the front view. I know that this is a 4-inch leg sticking out there, so heck with it. I will just go down to the front view here and I will offset from this flange outward. Now, I know we're supposed to have a little bit of a gap in here. I might want to deal with that later. Right now, I just want to make my angle. So I think I will just go O for offset, 4 inches from here out, from here out. And now I will make the 1/4 inch thickness, O for offset, 1/4 from here out and here out. So there's roughly where my angle is going to be. Now, let's think about how long these things are. According to this, it's 3 inches from the top down to the first hole. We have 4 holes that are 3 inches apart. Okay, so let me do that. O for offset, 3, enter. I'll just use my flange here for my line temporarily. I'll select that. There's my first hole, second hole, third hole, fourth hole. Okay, and the standard structural steel thing is from the end hole to the end of the angle iron is 1.25 inches. Okay, so offset 1.25 inches, and I'll offset up 1.25 inches, and I'll offset down 1.25 inches. Yay! Now I would like to trim these so I've got something that looks like an angle. So I'm going to T for trim, and for my, it says select cutting edges. For my cutters, I'm going to choose these outside corner edges, enter. And now I'll use a right crossing window. Oh, that's probably stupid, but oh well. And, oh dang it. Again, select cutting edges. Okay, select cutting edges. And now I will trim these guys. So now I have where my angle iron is going to be. All right. And it says the holes are 5.5 inches apart. What if I need to go halfway on each side of the center line? What is half of 5.5? 2 3/4. So watch this. I am going to offset, O for offset, 2 3/4 from this center line to one side and from this center line to the other side. And these holes are 13/16 in diameter, so I will get a circle. I like to do C for circle. It's centered right there on that thing. And it says specify radius. If I enter 13/16 right now, that will be bad. I'll get a giant circle. So I'm going to type D for diameter, so that I can now see how it changed, the command line changed. Now I can go 13/16. There's my hole. Now the 13/16 is stored in its memory, and if I tell it circle again, specify center point, and enter, enter, center point, enter, enter, center point, enter. Enter, and what I mean is center point location, enter, enter, center point location, enter, da 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 da. There are my holes.